Welcome to the Kailah Show. We're about to leave behind those old school beliefs and those low vibe limitations that lead you to exhaustion and to burnout as you grow your business. Together, we will explore how you can 2x your revenue in the next 90 days, how you can reclaim back 10 plus hours of your week, how you can rapidly create a multi-6-figure business or a 7-figure business in less than 12 months. One of the greatest challenges that I have experienced myself throughout all evolutions and stages of my business is comparing myself with my competitor. I'm really excited to dive deep into this conversation, and I'm really excited to share with you what was coming up for me in hope that my story will shift a breakthrough within you. So, throughout all stages of my business, there has always been someone who is doing better than I am. There will always be somebody who is doing better than I am. However, now when I see somebody doing better than I am, I'm not triggered. I'm empowered. I'm inspired. I'm excited. I am completely elated with what is possible because she who has created what I desire is inspiring to me. She's like a fucking lighthouse of what's possible. However, it was not always this way for me. So when I was experiencing or not experiencing the results that I wanted in my business, I would be triggered by somebody else's success. So when I was not getting enough clients, or there weren't enough clients booking, or I didn't have enough sales, or I didn't have enough inquiries, or I wasn't reaching the revenue goal, or I wasn't fully booked, or I had gaps in my week, and I'm sure she doesn't have gaps in her week. I'm sure she gets all the bookings that I'm not getting. I'm sure she's getting all the inquiries that I'm not getting. I was riddled with lack, fear, doubt, and scarcity. I was triggered by other people's success. I was disempowered and didn't believe that I had what it took to create the success that I desired. Because my reality was not a representation of what I wanted. It was a representation of everything that she had and I didn't. I used to play in the realm of comparison because when I played in the realm of comparison, I was ultimately triggered by all the things that I didn't have. All the reasons why I wasn't good enough. All the reasons why my work wasn't good enough. All the reasons why the quality of my expertise wasn't good enough. And of course, when I'm playing in that realm of not being good enough, it makes sense that of course she got all the brides. She got all the clients. She's getting all the success. Everybody's choosing her because of the lens that I am looking through. The elephant in the room is that I want what she has, and I am triggered by her success because I want what she has and I'm not experiencing that. I'm not experiencing what I want. And so when I see somebody else experiencing that, I'm triggered by their success. I don't think it's possible for me. I don't believe that I can have it. I want it, but when I think about it, all I'm feeling is lack because all I'm experiencing is not that. This is how I used to be in business. Whenever I was wanting a desire and a goal, instead of feeling empowered and inspired and excited about seeing somebody else achieving it, I would be so overwhelmed by my triggers of thinking and believing that I couldn't have it. It wasn't possible for me. I couldn't create that. I should just be happy with what I've got. I would be triggered by other women's success. I was disempowered because I didn't believe that I could create it. I didn't believe that I had what it took. I didn't see my value. I didn't see my level of expertise. I would undervalue myself and I would critique myself to a certain point that I would literally cripple any level of confidence that I even had, any shred of confidence that I actually had. What I would see when I would look at my work was so vastly different to what other people seen. My perception, my lens was so different. And I didn't realize this until I did the inner work. Have you ever experienced this before? Maybe you're experiencing it right now. Have you ever felt like your work wasn't good enough? Have you ever felt like your quality of expertise wasn't good enough? So it makes sense that they're choosing her. Of course they're choosing her. Of course they're going to choose her over you. You don't even know if that's actually accurate, but that's what your mind is telling you. Your mind's telling you that they're choosing her. Because when you look at your work, you're like, it's not good enough. And then when you see her posting and you're admiring her work because it's fucking extraordinary, and you're like, well, of course they've gone to her. You don't even know if they've gone to her, but all you know is that you've received an inquiry and they haven't confirmed their booking and they haven't gone ahead and scheduled a booking with you. And so you assume in your mind that they've gone to her. And you don't even know if that's accurate. It's quite literally a belief and a story, a narrative that you have created in your mind, all based on the trigger because you're comparing with your competitor, because underneath that is actually a level of doubt, a level of insecurity, a level of lack, a level of fear, a level of scarcity. We're going to dive deeper into that. Because would it be possible that you would feel this way and you would have these limiting thoughts, these awful, horrible thoughts, if you were where you wanted to be? If you were creating the results that you desired? Would you look at her work and compare it? Would you look at her work and think that you're not good enough? If you were already creating the success that you desired, if you were already celebrating the results that you were getting. If you don't feel like you are good enough, or you have enough bookings, or you have enough clients, if you're not celebrating the number of bookings that you do have, and if you're not celebrating the clients that are choosing you, it's because you're looking through a different lens. You're looking at your work through a lens of comparison, not celebration. And when we look through a lens of comparison, it's through a lens of scarcity and lack, fear and doubt. It's no wonder that the world is reflecting back to you that you're not good enough in your mind through your lens of comparison. But what if you started to look through the lens of celebration? What if you started to celebrate the clients that are choosing you? We are not worried about her. We're worried about you. We're concerned about how you can create the most fulfilling experience in this lifetime. And it will not be fulfilling if you're worried about her, if you're comparing yourself to her. Her success means shit to you. Her success is not even the success that you want. You think you want it. When you look through the lens of celebration, and you look through the lens of celebrating every single client that has fucking chosen you, and you look through the lens of they are your soul aligned client and they chose you, when you celebrate that, imagine if you were inviting more of that experience in your life through that celebration, through the lens of celebration. And now let's take it one step further. If you were looking through the lens of celebration and you were so excited about everything that you've achieved, even if you have not reached the goal that you have yet, even if your reality, you still have gaps in your week, even if you still have gaps in your year, if you looked through the lens of celebration and you celebrated the clients that fucking chose you, I can guarantee you there would be a shift in your body, a shift in your heart, a shift in your frequency and vibration, and you would look to her with celebration because you wouldn't have experienced lack, scarcity, fear, or doubt. When you look through the lens of celebration, you know more clients are coming. You're celebrating the clients that have come, and you know there are more clients coming. When you look through the lens of celebration, you're filled with gratitude for the clients who have chosen you, not for the clients who didn't. When you are looking through the lens of celebration, you're celebrating the revenue milestones that you're hitting. You're not worried about the milestones you're not hitting. When you look through the celebration, the lens of celebration, you know that your soul-aligned clients are attracted to you and they book you. You're not worried about the clients that don't, because you don't have an underlying level of scarcity or lack, because you know in the core of your essence, through the lens of celebration, that your soul-aligned client will find you, book you, and pay you. You're not worried about the ones that don't, because you know that the ones that do are coming. When you look through the lens of comparison and you think that what you're doing isn't good enough, and you believe that there isn't enough clients for all of us to be fully booked, and you think that the ones that are choosing not to book with you are going to her, because underneath there's a layer of you that might not believe or see your value or your worth or your level of expertise. And so it makes sense in your lens of comparison that they would choose her, even though it's not even true and you don't even have concrete evidence. What is actually underneath this lens of comparison is fear that you won't ever get more clients or you'll ever be fully booked. It's doubt that it's not possible for you and that you'll never reach your goal and you'll never be fully booked. The clients won't come to you. There's a level of lack that the clients won't ever book you and that you're not good enough. There's a level of lack that there's not, or scarcity, there's not enough clients for you to be fully booked and for her to be fully booked and the community to be fully booked. There's just not enough. There's just never enough. It's not enough, never enough. This is a lens of comparison. It's not enough. It's actually making me cry because it hurts me to imagine that you might be experiencing this. It hurts me because it hits home, because it's how I used to experience so much of the first 6 to 8 years of my business. Even when I was experiencing the results that I wanted, it still wasn't enough. I had to do more. I had to be more. I had to have more. Even when I was reaching 100K, or when I was reaching 200K, or when I was reaching 300K, or when I would have a sellout launch, I still had an underlying element that it wasn't enough, that I had to do more, be more, have more. This was one of the greatest breakthroughs that I have had in 2023. I stopped celebrating somewhere along the line the clients that were choosing me. I stopped celebrating somewhere along the line the creation that I had made for my Kailah brand and my bridal brand. Somewhere along the line, I forgot to celebrate everything that I had achieved with a level of excitement of the journey of what's to come. Somewhere along the line, I forgot to experience gratitude for the magic, for what I was experiencing in my reality. It was extraordinary, the results that I was getting in both of my businesses when I was embodying the magic through the celebration lens. When I was experiencing gratitude for every single client that was choosing me, choosing my team, booking our highest packages, for my private clients, for my mastermind clients, for the momentum clients. There's a level of magic that is ignited when you are looking through the lens of celebration. When you're seeing somebody else's success as an example of what is possible, not an example of what you're missing. When you look at somebody's success and you feel like you're missing something, and you feel like you're lacking something, and you feel like you just don't have it, and you feel like you're triggered and you can't even see her post because it's a representation of everything that you don't have and everything that you want but you don't have, I would, with every part of my being, it's emotional. I really want you to just take one moment and actually ask yourself, does it feel good to look through the lens of comparison? Does that feel really empowering to you or disempowering? Does it feel magical to you or terrifying? Does it feel expansive or constrictive? Does it feel like anything is possible or there's limitation? What feels so fucking good for you that you feel invincible? What feels so fucking good for you that anything is possible? That's the realm of magic that you want to play in. We don't want to spend long in the realm of comparison. We want to say thank you. Wow, thank you. That is shocking that thought has come up into my mind, but thank you because you're now a reflection of how far I've grown. I still have moments where I'm like, well, I didn't have a 300K month. She did. What do I have to do to have a 300K month? There is always somebody who's doing better than you. There is always somebody who is further ahead than you. Always, always. But it does matter the lens that you're looking through. Because somebody who's further ahead than you, when you're looking through the lens of celebration, is inspiring, expansive, exciting. It's a lighthouse of what's possible. A representation that 300K months is absolutely there. When I look through the lens of comparison, it feels constrictive, like limiting, debilitating, like what's the point? Hopeless, depleted, defeated. Why bother? It feels awful in my body. I lose motivation just like that. My magic completely disappears. My intuition clouded. My internal guidance system is just, it's like murky. My magic is gone. I can't even explain. Everything feels flat and dull when I'm looking through the lens of comparison. But when I'm looking through the lens of celebration, it's vibrant. It's exciting. It's exhilarating. It's like, there's no limit. It's limitless. It's potential. It's possibility. It's like, what if? What if it all got to work? Imagine what it would feel like if I had a 300K month. Imagine what it would feel like if my entire team was fully booked 2 to 3 weddings every single week. Imagine if every single bride who inquired with us booked with us. Imagine if with every single client bride that wanted to book, like booked in with us, then also booked in for event hair and makeup throughout the week. My team would be then fully booked, not only on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they'd be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What would change for their world if they were fully booked? What level of stability would that offer for their family? What level of like excitement would that feel for them to be on the tools, like in the moment, creating magic for their clients? That feeling is what I hold on to when I'm celebrating, when I'm taking action in my business. Every single fucking day, I vision what I want to create. And every single moment, and I promise you there are always moments where I catch myself looking through the lens of comparison. And I ask myself, is this aligned with where I'm going? Does this serve me right now? And it's always a fuck no. It's always a fuck no. I thank that thought. I say, thank you so much for showing me how far I've come. But I believe this now. Do you know how many times brides have said, you're too expensive? Do you know earlier in my career, in my business, actually for most of it, I'd say 60% of that one email response would trigger me to want to reduce my prices. That one email response would trigger me to then go onto Instagram and see somebody else and be like, well, I bet you she never gets questioned about her prices. That's looking through the lens of comparison, lack, scarcity, fear, doubt, not fucking good enough. And right now, that couldn't be any further from the truth. So I thank that thought coming up if it ever comes, because I'm like, wow, thank you. Like that is what I used to genuinely believe. And now you've shown me how far I've come. And now I know there's a better way of being. There's a better level of sense that I can experience that is really expansive, that feels really fucking good. Looking through the lens of celebration will change your entire life. Looking through the lens of celebration of what's possible for you when you see her succeeding will change your whole life. Stepping into your power, empowering yourself to look through the lens of celebration will change not only your life, but your children's life, and it will ripple out beyond. I hope you've loved this conversation. I would love to know what your biggest breakthroughs were. Send me a DM on Instagram. I would love to know if you found this episode really incredible, if you found it really expansive. And I would also love to know if you feel brave enough to share what triggers and thoughts you've had when you've been looking through comparison, the lens of comparison. And I'm excited for you to start looking through the lens of celebration. Thank you for joining me today, gorgeous. If you're loving this episode, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could take a screenshot, share, and tag me in all of your socials. I love seeing this podcast reach as many ears because I want to help so many women access more time, more revenue, more growth in their business without sacrifice. This is my absolute goal for this podcast. So don't forget to hit subscribe or follow and leave an epic 5-star review, because for every review, you will receive free access to my Ignite Master Course, which was worth $2,991. So Ignite was a 3-hour business growth conversation to help you overcome your challenges, accelerate your business, and implement strategies that will help you to access more revenue, more time, and more growth, and help you to create the lifestyle and business of your dreams in the next 12 months. For every review, I will send you through access for Ignite Master Course. This is insanely epic. So once you've left your review, send me a DM with the word Ignite, and I'll send you through your discount code so you can access Ignite for free, gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall see you in the next episode.